Okay, true believers, time to do a thorough review of the asterisk. What's the pronunciation? Do you say the S here, the asterisk, or asterisk? Anyway, this is our review here, and as you can see, first of all, let's take a look at the box. It's a beautiful box. It's like red and black. It came in great condition. The FedEx did a good job delivering it. The only problem is the tax that they put on it additional. So this is from the unboxing. You're probably familiar. This is what it looks like. So I wanted to show it again. But it's a nice box. And the specs over here, if you look at the side, it'll say the color is carbon, which we like, size medium, and I was concerned because Hero was in the middle of sizes. He's kind of like, when I measured his circumference over here, it was like at 15 and a half, and it kind of fell in the, look at that, it's like 15 and a half, and 15 and 3/4 was like on the high end. So I was, and then 15 and 7/8 would go to large, so I was kind of concerned. And I measured his right knee versus his left knee because I knew his left knee would be too swollen. And actually this thing says pair, which is not true. It was just the left. We only got the left one. There it is, left. So you're probably wondering, well, what were your thoughts? What was your decision making? So I was concerned about the size. Should I go with a medium? Should I go with a large? So Hero's still young, that he could probably went into a large. I myself am a large. So the only downside is he'll eventually grow out of this, but I wanted him to get something his size now, just in case. So to give him, so you want to have the right size when it comes to knee braces to give you the best protection. So we decided to get something that his size right now at medium. But like I said, in a year or 2 years, he might grow out of this, and it's a pretty expensive investment. So what are the other reasons why I decided to get this? I've had a knee brace myself, and one of the things that I didn't like about knee braces is they're heavy. It feels like you're wearing knee weights or leg weights or ankle weights. And when I was doing research, this happens to be the lightest one because of the carbon fiber that it's made out of. This isn't just for looks here. You see that carbon Lodi? It's not just for looks. This is actually made out of carbon fiber, and it is pretty light. So I wanted something for Hero to wear that's gonna be light, that he's not gonna feel like it's ankle weights. The other thing is that it's low profile. I wanted to pick something that wasn't bulky, that didn't have a lot of things going on. I wanted to keep it simple. And if you look at it, it's pretty simple. There's not too much kibble on it. It's just the brace and the strap and some foam padding, and there you go. So, and another factor that went into why I chose this knee brace is looks also. So not only did it need to be functional, that it protected his knee, that it was the right size, but it needed to look good. It's lightweight, so it doesn't feel heavy or bulky, and low profile. It's also, it looks good. It looks like something out of a Batman movie, if you check it out. So I wanted him to, something that he would wear and people go, wow, where'd you get that? And he did. He got a lot of comments asking, hey, where'd that come from? And I told him. He said it's from his dad, and which is true, but it's also, he said it's also from Corona, California. So you're not gonna find these available here in the Philippines or anywhere else other than in America. So functional wise, lightweight, low profile, and looks good. And also the price was, I thought the price was decent, because most braces are anywhere between $700-800 to $1,000, and the fact that this one is below $500 was another issue that made me decide on this. It was actually $420. So let's say, so it was like $420 plus the shipping by air, which is FedEx, which is, so that's like $480 total, because they ship for free if you're in the within the continental US, but they don't, but internationally you have to pay the extra 60 bucks. The only problem came in was we had to pay the extra 80 bucks on the import tax, because here in the Philippines, if it's less than $200, you don't have to pay the import tax, but anything over 200. But normally I've had people ship stuff to me that is like over 200, like $220, $250, and they usually don't declare it. They don't say how much it is, so I could get taxed on it, because this is like a personal medical item. We're not going to be reselling it. So that's the only downside. So if you're gonna order something like this, I wouldn't order from, get it from a place that's gonna be, that's not gonna be declaring that it's over $400, because we got like tax 20%. So there's like a 20% tax on this, because they said, oh, it's worth $420. So they hit us with an $80 bill, $80 tax on top of that. So there's several websites that you could order some. You can even order from the main company. Just tell them, hey, or you can have somebody from somewhere that doesn't get taxed, like Singapore or close by, if you have relatives, have it sent to them, and then have it sent to you, so you could avoid the $80 tax. The other thing is that it takes them a week to make this. So once you place the order, they start making it, and it takes about 4 to 5 days for them to finally ship it to you, because they got to make it first. And then after that, it'll take a week, and then it'll be stuck in customs for another week. So you're talking about 3 weeks before it gets to you. So plan accordingly. And so let's take a look at the knee brace itself. Now, finally, I got the logistics out of the way. Why I picked this. What were the other ones that you picked? I was also looking at the Pod K8 or K4. That was probably the other, maybe the CTI, which is kind of expensive. I think it's just, and it didn't look as clean as the Pod looked a little busy, and the part over here is kind of elastic, so I wanted something more rigid, especially over here. So, and it looked a little too busy. So looks wise, the Pod K8 had some of its advantages. I think the biggest advantage of the K8 is that the knee pad was removable. But the CTI one, it was just more expensive and didn't look as good as this with the carbon fiber. So I decided to go with this one still. I mean, this isn't perfect by any means. I'll go through the pros and cons with you. So the first thing we did was I modified it, and I got rid of the kneecap, because this was they made this for motocross, enduro, bike people that ride and like jump off cliffs, and this is a big, huge market for them. Like 90% of their customers ride motorcycles. So I can understand why this is something that they need to prevent injuries, or if they had an injury already. But we didn't need the protective kneecap, so I had to remove that. And so I could put it back again, but it's not as simple as a K8. So if you want something that with where the knee protector is removable, then you should consider the K8, because it's very easily removable. Versus this one, it was permanently installed with rivets, and I had to alter the rivets over here, and remove and cut the straps. So I had to cut the straps for the knee cup itself, and these extended knee guards. So and because we're not going to be using it for a bike, and I don't think Hero's ever going to be on a motorcycle, because it's just too dangerous. It's just when you have an accident on a motorcycle. It's just there's no protection to it. And I already told you what else it comes with. It comes with these tethers for like motorcycles, which we're not going to use. So there's people that demonstrate how it's used. And then there's some stops and some stickers here, so you could adjust the extension. Speaking of stickers, when you first get it, there's like a asterisk sticker over here and another like this logo they have over here. And I removed it because I didn't like it, because it was like bubbling up and it made it look very cheap, the sticker that was going across. I mean, I didn't mind it if it was just like embossed or engraved or somehow incorporated into the carbon fiber itself, so it would look cool. But the sticker with it bubbling around, and the reason why it bubbled up is because as you can see, there's like curves to it. So I didn't like it how it was like, look like it's like looking at your cell phone and there's like a bubble in the screen protector. So that's what it reminded me of, and it was annoying, so I got rid of it. And some things that I would probably comment about how they can improve is it just feels like the fit and finish. You would think that's for something this expensive that they would have like a smoother edge to it. It just looked like it just kind of cut out using like a circular saw or something. It's just not as smooth as you could see, as like it would. You would think it would be like the carbon fiber would come all the way around, but as you can see, there's like some fraying of the edges over there, right? So it just looks not so finished, but the finish is just not refined, but that's just me being nitpicky. So everything else is fine. It's just, if I do have something negative about it, it's just being nitpicky. Speaking of nitpicky, I would have probably preferred these rivets over here instead of the silver. I would probably prefer them to be black also, like this, instead of being silver like that. I mean, it's fine. It's just that I just think it would just look cleaner if it was just like all black. Just like black on black. There's that. And here's what I mean by like embossed. Look, they have the logo, the asterisk logo in there, kind of embossed into the plastic. And over here, look at this one here, asterisk incorporated within the plastic over here, and that's not bad. And the silver over here doesn't bother me that much because it's part of the hinge. It's just like this rivet. It just makes it right. It just makes it look cheap. So if asterisk is looking at this, just get them some black ones. I'm sure you can get these in black. It would just look much cleaner if you like look at it and it's like, oh, okay, it's black. And another thing that I noticed is, and I've noticed another person who did a review on this. So, because I've seen videos, reviews of this knee brace, and this D-ring strap is outside. Notice how it's outside over here, but over here it's inside. I know the Pod K8s, their D-rings are inside the brace, but it just kind of looks a little weird that if this is outside, the D-ring is placed outside, but when we get over here, it's placed inside. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is, because I've seen videos where they were outside, and then I saw one, and I go, is it just mine that they kind of put inside? And I saw one other person did a review, and theirs was inside also. So apparently not just mine or ours that are where the D-ring's inside. So somebody from Asterisk can explain why it's inside. My guess is that they wanted something low profile so it wouldn't catch, is my guess, but I think it's low profile already, that it's not gonna get caught on something because it's gonna be so it's on the inside part. This is the outer part because this is a left knee brace. This is the inside part. So that's, from a symmetry point of view, it looks weird to me. See here, all the rings are out here, all the D-rings are out here. Then you go over here, it's out here, but these ones are kind of inside. Is it to make it more low profile in the inside for the motorcycle guys so they can hug the motorcycle much better? I don't know. Somebody in the comments, let me know why these are inside while this is outside. Why it's outside on the outer part, on the lateral part, but in the medial part, it's inside. So that's kind of weird. But in the older videos, you could see the D-ring is outside, but in the newer ones, especially mine, it's inside. And pods, I know the pods, their D-rings are inside the brace instead of outside the brace. As you could see, it would have looked a lot better if these rivets were black instead of silver, but that's nitpicky. And like I said, the finish. So the other thing you probably notice is the foam. I actually didn't cut it because the foam pretty much extends to cover your whole knee to give it foam protection over these extensions over here. And they got this Velcro that it sticks to it. So it goes like that. And another one goes like that. And then this actually extends out. And instead of cutting it, what I did was I just tucked it in and to actually provide more padding for this rivet because I didn't really flatten it out. There's like the rivet that this thing is supposed to be hooked onto like that. So just to kind of put protection on there. I'll probably alter it in the future. Right now, the extra padding is actually good because it's more comfortable on his knee, on his shin. And he hasn't been doing that much activity with it, but I could adjust this and cut it out if needed, so the brace will be closer to his leg. And what else do I want to say about this? So he's used it for a couple of days and he loves it. Wears it to sleep. It's actually, as his leg, the swelling gets decreases, the brace actually fits better and better. Initially, when I put it on, it's like, ooh, it doesn't fit. But then as his swelling has gone down significantly because I've been icing it and we've been exercising it, then the knee brace, the fit is becoming better and better. And I wasn't going through like buyer's regret that like I got the wrong size. But in the future, because he's still so young, I could easily see him, that's a possibility that he could grow out of it after 1 to 2 years. But in the meantime, this is the perfect size for him because he still has some growing to do. So that's something for you to consider. If you're already like a 15.5 in circumference and you're still very young, you're in your mid to early teens, then going large might be a possibility. But the worst case scenarios, we'll just get a larger size if he grows out of it and there's too much pressure points. Okay, so let's take a look at the other parts to it. Now you've seen the D-rings. Let's look at the foam. It's got this foam over here that keeps it from migrating down, and it's pretty light, so it stays up pretty good. And he's just using it to walk around right now and not really doing any heavy activity with it. So he's just learning to walk again. Everything he's learning all over again, learning how to go up the stairs, learn how to bike. So I'll do a couple of videos on that to show you how we use this. So here's what the foam looks like inside. I don't know if this is like this antimicrobial foam. I don't think so. I don't think they advertise it as antimicrobial on their website. So it just might be regular foam, but it's removable. So you can wash it. As you can see, this is where I folded it over. And I also, the other negative about this is they don't give you additional padding. That's why you have to go true to size, because and I was concerned if it was like too large, then the knee brace won't be hugging his knee as much, because you want this thing to be as snug as possible, to the point that it could limit his movement. But in the beginning, while he just recently had ACL surgery, that's more important, that it hugs his knee and his leg as close as possible. You don't want it to be too big where it's not really doing much of anything. You want it to be snug and supportive as possible. The problem is this is only one. I actually had to it would go this way, and I took it off and I made it go this way. So I would slide it around his knee by pulling up against like that and sliding it in. I probably would make this a little bit bigger, so that has more contact with the sides of his knee joint. I mean, because you can see how much bigger it is, but I would probably just make it a little bit larger so there's more support around his knee, especially if it gets hit on the sides, that the pressure point is spread out. I mean, it's going to spread out to the rest of the brace, but it would be nicer, I think, as a suggestion, but they might say that, oh, then it gets too big and bulky, and that it's not anatomical in terms of it bending because this part is too big. So that's probably a possibility, but that's just a suggestion. I don't know. I mean, these guys do their biomechanics research. Another thing is it's a little bit stiff, the hinge. So it's no big deal right now, but if you're doing a lot of running, it might be a sore spot that I think it's an easy fix. Just put some lubricant, WD-40 in there, and it will glide much easier. It will bend and flex and extend much easier. But right now it's a little bit on the stiff side. I don't think it matters too much for him at this point because he doesn't really bend it that much. And if he does, it's not where it requires like quick acceleration or speed when he's doing it. So he doesn't notice that the hinge is not. But I think if you break it in, the hinge will probably get much looser and easier to bend. Okay, and like I said, no problem so far with the straps. How could they improve the straps? Probably make this a little thicker. Probably make this strap a little thicker so that way it'll be easier to strap on, and you're not like having this overlap. So like over here, you see how this one is thick? So this one that's my only other suggestion. And if they have my only other suggestion is that they make this antimicrobial, because you don't want it to smell like a hockey bag after a couple of months of use, because this foam does tend to get sweaty. But there is they give you a sleeve. I think it has the option of going over or going under. Let me go get it. I think the sleeve is over here. Yeah, there we go. So there's an additional sleeve also. So this is the sleeve. I don't think there's anything remarkable about it. There's no like asterisk logo or anything like that. It's just a sleeve. So you could put it under it, or you could put over it. You could use any sleeve actually. And that's another thing you have to consider if you're gonna be like wearing it over pants or a sleeve. Then this will get, since you only get one padding, that you have to keep that in mind. I mean, you're gonna be wearing a lot of things underneath it. I mean, these will probably flatten over time. It's just foam. It flattens itself already, but they will get flatter. But you could always add things underneath it, so it'll fit with more. It'll be better contact, or it'll be snug. So for now, he's been wearing it over his pants because there's enough room for his pants for him to wear it over. And it's actually more comfortable, especially if he's going to school, because with the foam right on his skin, it can get sweaty. And it's better that he puts it over his pants right now, is what he's doing, if he has to wear pants. Because when he goes to school, he has to wear either jogging pants for PE or slacks for his school uniform. Okay, and what else is there to it? Any other complaints? Other than that, he's been using it, and like I said, he definitely feels the support. Now, some doctors or some people will tell you that, what do they think about knee braces? And some will tell you it's not necessary, it's gimmicky, it's expensive. Other doctors will tell you, yeah, sure, they provide support, they provide protection. I fall in the category that when before I had my knee surgery, I had my knee brace. And yes, it did provide support, but more importantly was the psychological aspect of it. Because I definitely had more confidence playing sports with a knee brace on versus not. And it also reminded me that, hey, you have an injury, you have an ACL injury. So after maybe like 4 or 5 years, I stopped using my brace because I just said it's time for me to let my brace go. But in the beginning, because of the psychological trauma that comes with the injury and like the re-injury that you're concerned about, then yes, definitely a brace the definitely helps in terms of the psychological component, in terms of going back into not only back to sport but the early parts of rehab. So I'm in the school of like, yes, it's worth the investment. It is expensive. I wish some of these Chinese companies would look, it's not that complicated. The hinge is not that complicated. They could probably, these Chinese companies could probably, it's just carbon fiber. They could probably copy this and make $1 million and sell it. But I understand there's, especially in Corona, California, it's so expensive to do business over there. I appreciate that they make a good product like this, and I know they have to make a living. So yeah, it's expensive, but I didn't appreciate how I had to pay an extra $80 for it. Some people would argue that like, the why is that so expensive? I mean, the carbon fiber and it's just the innovation and the research and technology that goes into it. You got to look at that also. I mean, the Chinese don't have to do that. They just look at it, copy it, and sell it, and they don't have to go through they don't have to spend any money on research. So what else do I want to say about back to the psychological component. And it gives protection. So definitely highly recommend it. And so far that we've been using it during the early part of his rehab, we have been very happy with it. We'll let you know in the medium to long term once he starts getting back into higher activity. But so far with what we were doing it with, just learning how to walk, doing light weights again, so far it's so good, and the size is just fine. My only concern, like I said, Hero's still so young that he could probably grow out of this, and if we get a good 2 years out of it, then so be it. We'll definitely get another one because it's worth it. We'll have to see how this one goes. Okay, so let me take a video of what it looks like with it on his legs, so you can see how, there's no video out there of this without the knee protection, the kneecap protection. So when I message other people that would do reviews of this and say, hey, what does it look like without the kneecap protection? And they said, no, it's not removable. So yes, so no, it's not meant to be removed, but you can remove it easily. I just use a screwdriver and some scissors to cut off the straps over here and the back part of this rivet over here. So like I said, I wish they would have made this black, all this black also, just to be picky and just like the finish. And so this is probably the first ever review because it's meant, you could use this for a multi-sport also, like a lot of knee braces, not just for motocross or for riding motorcycles. So we're gonna primarily use it for other sports, mainly weightlifting and playing soccer and running and biking, and not swimming, obviously. You're not going to use it for swimming, but those other sports. And you don't need this kind of bulky kneecap protection. I mean, you could, but I wanted to see what it looked like, and it looks pretty clean. It actually looks way better without it than with it. So I wanted something, I mean, I couldn't afford like different knee braces for different activities. I can only just afford one. So we got this one and we removed it so we could use it for multi-sport. I mean, it even says in their box over here that they meant it for other sports, right? But you could definitely keep the knee protection on. But as you can see, it looks way better without it, without all this kind of nonsense going on at the same time. It just I think it takes away from the aesthetic of it, and you'll have to take a look at it yourself. I'll have them put it on and walk around and model it for you so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so that's pretty much my discussion, why I got it, what I don't like about it, what I do like about it. What do you think? Do you disagree? You agree? Disagree? What do you think? How does it look without the without the knee protection on it? Would you get one? Are you looking for something that's low profile, lightweight, and looks good at the same time? That's something that came out of a Batman comic. You let me know. And if you agree or disagree, would you get one? Which one did you get? But like I said, so far, we haven't been putting it through rigorous use like sports, but for basics, just getting around, going to the bathroom, even to sleep, he would wear it to sleep if he could. But I said, no, it'll be just too sweaty when he wakes up. That's just how much comfortable it is. And because of the psychological part, I mean, he is so concerned and so afraid about tearing out. He's so careful with his new ACL. He doesn't want anything to happen to it. That this gives him the psychological confidence he needs to do the exercises that he needs to do for his rehab. Okay, so that's why we got it. If you found this video informative, give it a like. Let us know in the comments what you think. And let's put this on and have Hero model it for you. Okay, here's Hero putting it on. So look how it slides around his knee joint nicely. So what you want to do is install the strap that goes right underneath the calf. Make sure it goes over the bulge, the bulge part, and have that pad so that way it doesn't slide like so it doesn't migrate downwards. So make sure that you get it over the thick part of your calf and into the thinner part. So then after that, it doesn't really matter which one you put on. Normally you put this one on, then you put this one is second, and then that one third, and this one last. So it doesn't have any of the quick release mechanisms, which I don't mind, because what they're going for this is like the simpler, like low weight, and those extra mechanisms I think would add too much of the weight. So what you're looking for is, if it's a good fit, is how close it is to your leg. As you can see, there's no big spaces in between. It's right on the foam itself. So the brace is hugging his leg as much as possible, that you don't want any like spaces in between for any movement. You want it to support it as much as possible. So that's what it looks like without the knee protection. So for everyone who's like considering using this for multi-sport, not just for dirt bikes, and is it removable? Yes, but the downside is that it's not easy to put back on like with a K8. If you're gonna just use it mostly for multi-sport, then yeah, remove it. And if you're not gonna use it for dirt biking, then that's fine. But putting it back on is not really a good option. Okay, stand up and let's take a look what it looks like over here. So there. So don't worry if you're not getting a good feel for it with this video, because you'll be seeing him using this all the time for his rehab, learning how to walk, going up the stairs, going down the stairs. So just stay tuned, and if you want to see what it looks like in action instead of just here, just on his knee, but at least you could see what it looks like. Do you think it looks good? Does it look better without the knee protector? I mean, look at all the other videos compared to without it. I mean, like I said, we don't need it. He definitely needs the support. So that way he has a lot of support on the sides, and it helps distribute some of the weight all over the knee brace. So he likes it. He likes the way it feels. It gives him more confidence when he walks, right?
100%.
And he likes it very much. So that's what it looks like. And stay tuned for more videos. Well, I'll have him do some demonstrations with it, and we'll definitely be using it for everything. Every time he's on his walking around out and about, he's definitely going to be wearing this because he wants to protect his ACL right now while it's remodeling. And also to remind him that, like, hey, be careful. You've got a baby ACL inside that needs to be protected. Okay, turn. You can see there's going to be a difference in his calves lately because one he's using and one he's not using as much. Okay, that's good. You can see this difference in his leg. Okay, that's our third review. Is the Asterisk Carbon Cell 1 knee brace left in medium with the kneecap protector removed. Now this is what we're going to use for the rest of our journey, our ACL journey. See you guys in the next vlog.